Hey everyone, it's June 2nd, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with English serial killer Peter Sutcliffe, known as the Yorkshire Ripper, who murdered at least 13 women in the late 1970s, and that is him right up there. Born to a working-class family in 1946, Sutcliffe didn't have many friends as a child and was raised by an alcoholic father who often was violent with the family, including an incident when he broke a glass over Peter's head when he was a small child. He quit school at the age of 15 and bounced from job to job, including a stint as a gravedigger in the 1960s before becoming a truck driver, giving him freedom of movement across the region. First meeting his future wife in 1967, the two were married in 1974, but it was a marriage riddled with infidelity by both participants and an inability to have children. Sutcliffe frequented prostitutes throughout his life, and it is believed that an early experience with one who cheated him out of money fueled his hatred of women. He first showed his violent urges in 1969 when he attacked a prostitute, hitting her in the head with a rock. The police visited him the next day to discuss the incident, but no charges were filed since the victim was reluctant to participate in the prosecution. In 1975, his aggressive actions resurfaced, bashing a woman he saw walking down the street in the head with a hammer before slashing her stomach with a knife. Luckily, she survived, but he had discovered that he enjoyed it and went on the hunt. A few weeks later, Sutcliffe again attacked a woman with a hammer and cut her open with a knife, then beat a 14-year-old girl in the head, but both survived. His attacks soon turned deadly, with his first successful murder occurring in October 1975 when he hit a mother of four in the head with a hammer before stabbing her 15 times. Traces of semen were discovered on her corpse, indicating he was achieving sexual satisfaction from his crimes. Her oldest child ended up committing suicide in 2007 after being haunted most of her life by what had happened to her mother. He next killed in early 1976. This time by stabbing a woman 52 times with a screwdriver. Sutcliffe continued his pattern of bashing women in the head with a hammer before stabbing them for the next few years, killing 13 women, many of whom were prostitutes, between 1975 and 1980. Police interviewed 5,000 men, including Sutcliffe 9 times in their search for the murderer, and acquaintances of his reported him as a suspect, but he wasn't arrested until 1981. Part of the problem was that a disturbed man sent letters and audio tapes to the police claiming to be responsible for the crimes, which threw off the search for the real killer. Yes, OJ, sometimes there is a real killer. Thanks to DNA evidence, that man was found and tried in 2005 for perverting the course of justice, being sentenced to 8 years in prison. Sutcliffe was arrested when he was caught with a prostitute, likely saving her life, and under questioning confessed to being the Yorkshire Ripper. He attempted to plead guilty to manslaughter, saying that it was God's will that he killed his victims, claiming to have heard a voice commanding him to kill when he was working as a gravedigger. But a judge insisted on a jury trial where he was convicted of 13 murders and 7 attempted murders, being sentenced to 20 consecutive life sentences. After his incarceration, he confessed to additional attacks, but they weren't prosecuted to save the victims from having to go through the process. Sutcliffe died of COVID-19 in November 2020 after spending nearly 40 years behind bars. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so I can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Peter Sutcliffe, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.